you know, this might be a little bit of an OG draft, but we can't fight as much as we want to. I look at this draft. This draft is all about the battling. They don't have to wait for anything. This is like just run at you nonstop, Spirit Breaker charging, Monkey King hopping through trees, ET throwing spirits, Clockwork running in. This should be a very battle-heavy response from OG, I'd imagine.
And sort of on Na'Vi's side of things, so obviously some different heroes coming out. Some were taken away from the bans in this draft from OG. Any sort of heroes you're excited to see these players play? Anything you think is going to be very strong and worth watching out for some star plays?
A couple fun interactions. I mean, there's going to be some nice. I think the Infest Bombs can definitely be a big one. The Puck Lifestealer, we've seen that have some pretty good success. We have the Venge swap with the Coil as well. Pretty sweet. And then we also have Dark Willow versus a high majority of melee heroes. These Brambles are going to be problems. Monkey King, Spirit Breaker, Elder Titan, Clockwork, Morphling. It's pretty much all melee. Even Morphling, sure, he's got some slight range, but could definitely see these Brambles being pretty annoying for the side of them. They also have, what, Terrorize versus Monkey King, too? So Wukong's command gets dropped, you get feared, you can run out of it. It's a lot of different things. And the swap, too. So 2 different forms to be able to break the Monkey King ulti. There's a lot of different fun stuff coming out from Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think the big one's definitely going to be the swap coil and the fear coil.
Yeah,
Terrorize. That's going to be very, very strong in these fights once they get there. Well, we'll see. You know, if in these laning stages, Na'Vi's going to be able to have as good a time as they did last game. Because you said what you reckon last game, some of these lanes shouldn't have gone as well as they did do for Na'Vi.
I didn't think they would go that well. You know, Topson he gave the kill to mid, right? He went for this dive play and gave away a free kill to Doom. Bottom, I feel like actually was just well played by Na'Vi from V-Tune, especially in that last one. So yeah, we'll see how this top one works. It's double ranged versus this Monkey King. Sure, Monkey King's gotten the buffs of some armor, of course, in these last few patches, but you still suffer a lot versus these two. Especially with Blightstone. We're seeing it already kicking off.
That damage, yeah, for just the two of them. One hit away from nearly dying. He's going to get the treants out. In fact, mid one.
One more hit.
Oh, the dodge.
Keeps the salve
very
going.
Nice. Give it a pog.
That's
mid one there with the mischief. Keeping that salve going good.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this top lane is probably going to be pretty rough. Mid one, that's huge there for them. I wonder what skill build he's actually going to go for. I've seen a couple of times of some weird ones when you're playing versus double range, but yeah, top lane it should be with Spirit Breaker and Monkey King onto these two.
Mid one. He's going to be able to build it up. He's going to take quite a hit here. He's already used the Boundless, of course, so no straight up reliability to heal himself up. Roger into the Shadow Realm.
Will he miss his dodge? Let's see. He will.
He's doing good with that. Anyway, meanwhile, down on the bottom lane, fight kicking off. They dive in. Saxon will be the first to draw the kill, but they lose the life in return. And top lane, they do get Roger with these body blocks as well from Notes out. At least allow mid one to build up that Jingu again. Allow him to keep himself pretty much full HP with the heals that are going to be coming in from those hits. But already action kicking off on these side lanes.
I mean, they're all things considered, like top how crazy everything's happening. General only got 4 last hits. They're actually doing super well on OG, which I didn't really expect, but I guess when you're Monkey King too, if you're ever able to actually get the Jingu stacks, especially versus Nature's Prophet, you're just full healing. This ends up actually being okay.
No,
Bottom, we didn't get to talk about too much the ET versus Lifestealer matchup. I quite do like having the Lifestealer versus ET. Can't actually take advantage too much versus him. He just turns and hits you, open wounds. He just heals versus the damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the thing, right? Last game, if they weren't able to slow V-Tune down with the lane setup they had there, I mean, this one you wouldn't consider any scarier for a Lifestealer, right? This should be easier for V-Tune.
Yeah, I mean, he has to just be a little bit careful around this level 3 that Seb has hit. This is a big power spike here for Seb, but they can always play around it. With the stuns, with the rage, and open wounds, you have a lot of different options.
Top lane, Natus coming in with the charge, but nothing more to follow up. As mid lane, though, we're seeing Iceberg. He is doing very well on these first few waves already. 13-8 against the 8-for-3 of Topson. I mean, is that just expected early on? It's very hard to sort of play with the high agi because of the constant burst of a puck. You've got to be careful.
Yeah, it was actually, I was going to talk about it a little bit later, but it was from the start, laning phase, our first wave, Iceberg, he got a much better block. Topson had it all the way pushed onto his side. Iceberg hit level 2 right away. Topson was level 1, so he bullied him really hard the first few waves.
Oh yeah, the knock-on effects from that starting of the mid lane definitely showing. The good CS that Iceberg continues to have and that advantage against Topson's Morph. Top lane.
It will start to shift a bit as that Morphin gets some levels, but yeah, top.
They're trying to charge in. One held back by the Brambles, though. So unable to go for anything more. She's thrown out the Boundless. Some good body blocks here from the Treants. In fact, fantastic body blocks here. N0tail taking a lot of damage. Can they finish off the kill? They can. They're going to be able to get it. Mid one trying to run it onto General. General trying to maneuver his way around the Brambles. Mid one's got to step back. Another route's out. Mid one, he's in trouble. They've got a Shadow Realm hit coming in as well. Is it enough? This time Mid one unable to dodge it. So takes the hits. He will live an incredibly low HP. He has still got the Jingu stacks up and will be able to drop a Boundless. And meanwhile, what happened over there? Iceberg, he's killing off a Clockwork from.
Soxa checks bottom rune. DD spawns pop. Iceberg just fights him. Okay, we'll wait for it.
I mean both teams just constantly trying to fight here. General, he's going to go for the TP out. Mid1 tries to find it, but the TP out is already done. They're charging in on a Roger. As N0tail will give him the bash bite.
That was unexpected.
But Mid1 able to live, and General, yeah, not dying either. Despite that attempt, he's straight back to the lane.
Okay. Battle General again.
He got him! He gets Iceberg got him! It's straight up with the silence. Thompson stepped up to the high ground. Just a quick Waning Rift and an Illusory Orb. He was just caught too low on the HP. Top lane, they're charging in. They're looking for General. The Brambles in place. Mid1 jumping down. This time will get the kill. It's going to take a few hits from the tower, but he's able to take it off with the Mischief and step away. Will kill General, but that mid lane, I mean, Thompson, he struggled in game 1 against Iceberg. He's struggling again here in game 2.
Yeah. All those small little things trade off. The kill on Soxa actually ended up working, even though Soxa, he was trying to waste the DD rune originally from what happened a minute and a half ago as kills all over the place continue.
Seb does get all... Killons always want to fly. Vincere turning on to the two of them. I mean, still in this bottom lane, as we've seen, Seb and Saxa, they have been able to kill always want to fly off, in fact, the 3 times now. But does seem like a bit of a similar story to last game, right? Because they were doing this. They were killing the supports, but the cores remained able to get free farm in their lanes, and that certainly is the case here for Vincere. 32 and 11 at 6 minutes in on his safe lane. He doesn't really mind if the Disruptor's dying. In fact, it's kind of nice. He's getting solo XP.
Disruptor? You mean the Venge?
Venge, mixing the games on now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
yeah.
the reason I was saying like the Lifesteal is so good versus ET is not just in the lane where you can always open wound, you can turn. It's in the mid game too. You build phase boots plus armor, you build armlet plus armor, and just pretty much everything that you build up always just feels good playing into that ET. And yeah, off to a phenomenal start here for the mid and the bottom. However, top mid one is doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do.
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, already finding this early action, and you know they're having to push it to the edge to do so. As we're seeing these kills that happen right underneath the towers. Try for General. I'm going to get a bit of a slow on with the Primal Spring. General is underneath the tower here. See if they can continue to do this against the hits from the tower. Boundless strike down onto General. Mid1 tries to make his way around. The Sprout holds him back momentarily, but Mid1's able to cut himself out with the Quelling Blade. Still can't finish the kill, though. General's got the movement speed to make it away, and N0tail, he'll be found here. Roger, actually not damage with the Shadow Realm, but still able to take him out with that further last hit. Mid1, can you get the kill in return? These Treant blocks from General, giving some space for Roger. Roger pops the Fairy Fire, but the Boundless Strike comes out. Mid1 will pick up another kill in this lane now. 2-0-1 on the Monkey King. Down bottom, Seb and Saxa, once again for the 4th time in the laning phase, finding always wanna fly as they do continue to punish the support of Na'Vi.
Now V2 is a bit alone here. He has the Infest, so he should be fine, but taking a little bit of a beating as he is left completely alone down there. And yeah, we're seeing OG. Lanes are still doing pretty well, and mid is fully recovered. Even though Thompson died and Iceberg got that kill gave to him, Thompson's actually ahead in net worth over the puck.
I mean, now sort of comes to the point, right? He's got these double Wraith bands. He's got to be between the lane and the jungle and farming those camps in a way that, as a puck, you're just not going to be able to keep up with Morph at this stage.
Can this charge work? Iceberg, he gets himself a DD. N0tail's going to keep chasing it, but has to stop. Yeah, now Mid1's going to get this free farm top as General can't pressure him unless Roger's there. And this is all like everything is just evening out and looking pretty decent for OG.
I mean, they're looking to maybe jump tops and mid, but he's keeping enough HP up that it's going to be hard. Already starting to shift, yet they can't quite do it between the two of them at this stage. He's going to be fine. Bottom lane, charge. It's going to be held off. Won't continue on to Vincere.
It's an ambitious one.
Iceberg's going to look to make a play with the coil. He wants to try and slow down Mid1. Knows that he's having a good start in the Monkey King. Wants to make sure that this first use of the Dream Coil is onto the carry of OG. Bottom lane,
Always want to fly again.
It looks like he'll go down once more. Another kill for Seb, dominating 4-0-1. Strong start for him. Same time up top, Iceberg. The gank will be successful. They're in onto mid one and able to punish him whilst the rest of OG are making that move down bottom. So that time round, Na'Vi at least able to do something with the time that was taken by OG to kill off Always Wanna Fly for yet another time. They know that mid one's alone and they punish that.
Yeah, I like the big usage of the double ultis there. The puck coil plus the Wrath of Nature. Thompson will eat some harassment mid, but he'll be fine. And yeah, we're seeing, Vtoon, he's not getting slowed down per se, but he is playing into a game that does feel much harder this time around as a lifestealer. He's versus so many different counters. There's 2 different BKB piercing disables. Well, 3 actually, if you include the Earth Splitter. Actually, no, yeah, 3, sorry, including the Earth Splitter. Yep. And he has to just deal with natural hero matchups. The Morphling and the Monkey King, phenomenal versus lifestealer in the game. So OG, I feel like they've done a really good job in this laning phase, and as things progress, that lifestealer is not going to look as scary.
Well, there we go. 10-minute runes coming in. Roger and General, they're looking to fight mid one up top. Mid one will be able to pick up the rune. Curse Crown connects to the Bramble, as well as Always Wanna Fly, turning up with a magic missile. They'll take down mid one.
Back-to-back deaths.
He's moving over with the Invis. Iceberg already able to grab the rune, and still, of course, yet to hit the 6. Not really much that Saxa could do here.
Mid one can't TP out to lanes now, though. 30 seconds. It'll still be on cooldown actually about for 20 when he does respawn. So top tower, this should be a good movement for Na'Vi to actually pressure this one here.
Yeah, they're really doing the job of slowing down mid one.
And Saxa, he found Always Wanna Fly again.
He did manage to find him, was keeping on top of him during that invis. Dreamcore's going to be dropped down from Iceberg, only onto Saxa. And with the Nature's Wrath, if they got enough to get the kill, they don't. Saxa's going to be fine for now. Iceberg has to jump away as OG had the 4 of them moving in on him mid.
They're not bringing enough forces here, Na'Vi. They're really looking to take that tower top, but they want to defend this mid tower. They got to bring at least 3-4 heroes here to stop this.
Yeah, Roger playing around with the Terrorize, keeping it held on to General. TPing over, and with that presence of the Prophet and the Dark Willow, it's just a little too much for OG to push into now, so keep the tier 1 mid alive. Mid 1 back on the map, he's moved down bottom, trying to take the tier 1 down here. And with TPs from Na'Vi being used towards mid, we'll see if they do actually turn and try and hold that bottom lane.
No coil for 20 because Iceberg using it there, though. So it does look like they're going to give up the tower for free. And just also lingering around the mid area, just kind of waiting for something to happen. OG getting more out of the map there. As they split away, finish up the level 6 No-Tail. He now has his BKB piercing disabled with the Nether Strike, and mid trying for Thompson.
They're trying to go for that. They have got the Bedlam damage, but Waveform's back up. Thompson able to time it with the crown, so he's out. Boundless Strike on the 2 of the mid one's in. But Iceberg, multiple ways of getting out. Unless he gets caught out by the charge. Won't be the case, though, as No-Tail held back by the Brambles. And that's the timing for Vtoon. So Armlet's done. Vtoon's going to be a lot happier turning up the fight. In fact, here we go. The Dream Core down onto the 2 of the mid one. He's going to snap it straight away. The Terrorize comes out. Vtoon's able to clean up the Monkey King. Now he's going to turn over towards Seb. Seb, Cursed Crown. He's trying to get himself back up toward the tower. Nice jukes around the Bramble. Gets him underneath the tier 1 and away from danger. Seb will live. But we're starting to see the plays come out now that the 6 has been hit. Roger, that combo with Iceberg. It's going to be incredibly disruptive to play against. I mean, Dream Coil and Terrorize, there's not really much that OG's heroes can do against that at this point of the game.
Yeah, even just a swap, too, can come in as well. We saw Always Wanna Fly was in position for it, too, if he did have an opportunity to get in range. Yeah, it's always going to be an element in this game, pre-BKBs, that they're going to have to be worried about. And it's, blink on puck so early on. Iceberg, he's going to get the action off every single time. And we have to imagine that in the further states, it's going to be a lifestealer infested him in most of these ganks, too. So the damage, the pop is going to be very high.
And look at this as well for Vtoon. Are you a fan of this one? Armlet into Skadi. You're against a Morph, you're against a Monkey King. What more could you ask for? Yeah,
it's, his damage potential is going to be a lot lower because of it, but hey, the longer the fights go, this is going to make him a lot stronger. We'll see if it pays off. It might be an item that ends up just being kind of useless in a way.
I mean,
but it does feel like, it'll be good.
Monkey King and a Morph, though, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be incredibly annoying just having that slow as he stays on top of you.
It feels like it should be pretty strong, yeah. It's a really awkward lifestealer item, though.
Yeah, I guess it depends how much he gets after it all, but still, having that 40% reduction of the lifesteal on the Jingu.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
They get the chains done.
Very nicely done there with the cogs. Keeping that constant disable onto Iceberg, taking him out. And that should be enough for OG to finish off this tier 1 mid. up the fortification. Without the puck up and the Dream Core to start things, not likely that Na'Vi's going to be able to push them away.
Pretty big mistake by Na'Vi not being prepared for that move there. They had everything, and they were even sitting around the mid area with Always Wanna Fly. I actually didn't see if he backed up for a smoke or something, but I felt like that was a situation where they should have at least saved Iceberg and given away the support life. That's pretty huge momentum for OG. Now they can look to punish as the downtime is here.
Vicune's the big one. He's kind of a hard hero to catch.
Yeah.
They want to go for it. They're not going to step up into this triangle.
All 5 of Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Okay, Infest at the ready. Max level silence with this Blink Dagger. Thompson. Still no Manta. He's very susceptible to get burst.
I see
No-Till's ready to break the smoke.
Straight over. Looking for Thompson, but they'll turn towards No-Till instead. The hook shot comes across. No-Till caught in the root. He is taken out. Can they find more? Nature's Wrath coming around. All of them. Mid one's going to jump over the Fear. Pushing back Saxa. Vtune steps in onto the clockwork, trying to chase him down, but Saxa's too fast. Saxa's able to step out away, and now Vtune's got to run. He's got the armlet toggles. Is he going to be able to toggle his way through this? He's trying. He's doing a good job with it as well, but it's not quite good enough, as OG will claim it.
They might even get chased. Thompson, he's looking for more. Nah, he can't find it. But a move that Na'Vi feels they're forced to do because they have the smoke, they have their blink, they have all these different abilities up, but it's in such an aggressive place. OG's so ready for it. The 2 supports perfectly prepared.
Yeah.
And then Thompson, when he's playing versus Puck, we see what he can do. If he's not targeted, he gets the morph off, and then he has absurd catch. He has a silence for the lifestealer. He has different ways to get on these targets. Over-aggressive move by Na'Vi gets real punished.
COG. I know, as long as they can keep Thompson safe, Thompson in most of these fights is going to be able to clean up pretty big.
Yeah, they have to initiate on him. I feel like in most of these fights, it has to be Iceberg jumping on either the Morphling or on the Elder Titan. He can't start on the Spirit Breaker or the Clockwork. If I see him getting, like, if he gets the coil on those 2, then the fight's probably going to start disastrously. He has to get on top of these two big heroes in the back.
And they've spotted General.
He's
General in a whole lot of trouble here. They're charging in. Thompson looking to burst him. Always Want to Fly with a swap to the side. General still going to get hit by the ult of No-Tail. And now Always Want to Fly, he'll die as well. Saxon and Seb running down. Some scrappy moves here from Na'Vi, getting punished by OG. As OG turning into the killers here in game 2.
And every time they see somebody, No-Tail gives them the vision with the charge.
With the burst Iceberg, they are in. Thompson, nice moves, turning into the puck there to utilize Iceberg's silence against himself. The Fear does set up for Vtune to take No-Tail. Again, the cause of OG, they're able to walk away. Some very, very nice fast moves there from Thompson that, whilst he's just got a blinker, are going to cause issues for Iceberg. Anytime he's in with the stolen Waning Rift, Thompson's going to be able to set up for that puck kill very easily.
Yeah, he didn't. You could see he was like, wait, what just happened to me? You could tell he was totally panicked because he was just trying to predict around the charge play. Nice plays from Thompson and OG again as, yeah, we're really starting to see them kick off here. And we're starting to see, this Na'Vi lineup is starting to fall apart here as sucks. Good spot General, but they'll back away. Yeah, the 2 supports are just having a lot harder time this game just moving around, in particular with their offlaner. Always Want to Fly. He's up to 8 deaths this game as the Venge.
Yeah, we're seeing just in comparison to game 1, cores like mid 1 just having such a different game. This time, mid 1, despite the fact that they did hunt him down those few times up top, his item timings are still strong. He's got a BKB, and now in the mid, they're ready for the setup. Always Want to Fly's in with the save. Vtune's out of harm's way, and OG won't push forward anymore. Maybe even
Na'Vi can't lose. They can't lose these next few fights. Like they have a Puck on their team with a Blink Dagger. Like this guy's not going to be farming at all. If Na'Vi loses, like I feel like this game just might be almost unwinnable for them. OG has a triple core that's farming super well. Na'Vi has a slight dual core. Like Puck is not a hero that scales very well at all. The only thing he can really do is go for Ags, which he is queuing up, but yeah, I'm already feeling pretty concerned for Na'Vi if they don't start really kicking up the pace. And yeah, OG's already got the tools to actually fight into them. BKB and Manta are finished on the 2 big cores.
Oh yeah, they're ready to fight any opportunity, OG.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is looking real hard for Na'Vi.
See what Na'Vi's play is here. So OG Bringing it in around the mid.
They've got the vision down already too, OG. Everyone here claimed around the sidelines too. Roger, to be careful.
Here we go, charge to Vincere. They're going to try and start things here onto the lifesteal. He needs help and he needs it quick. Always want to fly out to get him with the swap, but the Wukong's command is down. Dream Coil is in there, but Vincere is still trapped. He's jumped into the creep with the Infest. He's trying to get away from mid one and Topson, and he will be able to do so. He'll live. So all in all, I mean, only losing the Venge there is probably the best outcome that the Na'Vi could have hoped for from that.
But they had to use Coil defensively. They had to... Everything is just being forced defensively. And OG, now they're just going to back up, farm the whole map. Yeah, this is looking extremely difficult. They haven't been able to find pretty much any pickoffs with their Blink Infest combos. They haven't found anything with their Orchid of General either.
Yeah,
and like we said, there's already counters. Like OG, they've already got all the counters to deal with these things too.
We're seeing, of course, Topson, I imagine, going for the Ags. I mean, what's he going to be? What sort of plays is he looking to make with the Ags this game as the Morph, do you think?
I mean, he can always just turn into the Willow anyway, so I guess the Ags just gives him the actual Willow benefit for the attack speed out of Shadow Realms.
Down bottom.
Iceberg.
They're going to save him with the swap, the stomp.
Oh.
He's going to be dodged. Hook shots in though, and they've got him again.
And next is the charge.
See what they can get here. Always want to fly. Being dove straight upon OG, just the 5 of them running in onto him. And it is really starting to look a little rough here for Na'Vi. Down 3k, but just the fact, as you said, that the cores that are in play. Iceberg 3, 4, and 2. Such a different game for him this time around on the puck in comparison to what he was able to do on the Doom last game.
Uh-oh, V-Tune should be able to get away. He's very close to his base, but yeah, we're seeing Na'Vi's just forced into their base. We're not seeing... They're unable to really make any moves, and Always Want to Fly is just... He's just dying. He's unable to do anything as his Venge this game. His 10 deaths is just... Oof.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, I think if anything, it's almost surprising that OG isn't further ahead in gold, you know, with the way that the game's going. It feels like Na'Vi should be further behind in terms of what they're picking up. But I guess just as it's been, General has been able to find space while this is going down, and Vincere is still hitting those timings as he's top of the board. He's got the Skadi complete. They're going to look to make a move of this, but again, Sacks are in a position to put a stop to the smokes. They'll jump in upon him, see if they can take him down, but the cogs are out. They're ready to fight this. Roger does get the fear out onto a few of them. Vincere cutting his way out the cogs. He's got to get out of here. Doesn't want to find the Wukongs. They'll leave. Always Want to Fly behind again.
Every time, it's the supports. It's either the Clockwork or the Spirit Breaker breaking the smoke, getting coiled, and they don't care. If they die, it's great. V2 unable to get into the action, unable to get into the backlines every time, and OG, they're just getting these items that are just going to full counter and further counter this Lifestealer.
Yep. It's going to be become a very hard game indeed for V2. And despite the farm that he does have, he's got a lot to deal with. Mid one closing in on the MKB, and of course Topson, once that Ags is out, the fun is going to start for him. As you mentioned, almost certainly down to just being able to utilize that Ags Willow benefit.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe he turns into like the ET and stuff for the Spirit combo.
Well, that's what I was saying to you, because if you do turn into the ET and get the Astral out and bring it back, you still maintain the Astral damage buff whilst it's within you, and you also get you get the rage of it.
Do you get the BKB of it? I actually don't think I've seen this.
I think you probably do, right?
I think there's a buggy interaction with it, but I mean, we'll see, because I remember there being a weird interaction with it where you don't technically have the buff.
Oh, well, when you're in the morph,
so when you
actually turn back to morphling.
We'll see, because I've seen it. It was bugged for a bit, but we'll see if it actually does work. I mean, we'll see if it even gets to that point. Na'Vi trying to get the position in here.
Jump. So they can burst this, but mid one's quick with the BKB. They can't take him down, and now with Notail charging it over towards Vincere. Vincere is going to look towards Notail, see if he can find the Spirit Breaker. Notail's able to be saved, though, with the Glimmer. He's alive. He's able to get the ult up onto Vincere. Notail does still fall. Terrorize still being held onto by Roger. As Vincere, he's going to need some help. He's going to need it quick. In it comes. But Thompson Manta dodges the Terrorize. He'll be able to stand his ground. Help mid one take down Vincere. Over to General they go. Seb's able to cancel the TP with a stomp. And a stomp it really is turning into, as once again, OG winning these team fights. Na'Vi desperately trying to come out hunt for action, but they're just too far behind, it seems, as they just cannot enable this lifestealer right now. There's too many hazards in the game.
Yeah, I honestly, like, there's a lot of times where I know people always, I've seen them like talking about how mid one doesn't buy BKB. Mid one bought BKB this game and it was perfect. Like there's literally nothing Na'Vi can do. They can't target the 2 cores. They just have to keep settling for supports that they try to catch and they just keep getting slammed in the fights over and over again. Great item choices coming out from OG. Making this one look much easier, and it's just feeling like, you know, they're forcing Na'Vi to make these errors, but Na'Vi, they have to try to do something. They know that they're just getting outscaled.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Vincere, so still trying his best to hold his position up there, but he's being taken over by both mid one and Topson. And if the game continues to go as it has been, he's only going to fall further behind. And the kills are just going to become even harder and harder for Na'Vi to find. Considering just how big OG's heroes are getting. There it is, Topson. Ags is done. It's on its way out.
Sweet.
So now we get to see what sort of magical plays Topson wants to dance around the team fights
Radiant's
with.
bottom tower is under attack.
With my thanks.
Alrighty.
The seeds are
Oh,
Oh, he also has Spirit Break. He has the Bulldoze as well.
so he wants to use the Bulldoze.
God.
I mean,
I forgot about that one too.
I guess the
70%
Bulldoze
status is the, and you get the charge cooldown down to 6.
All right, yeah.
And he's gonna
Bulldoze.
get the CDR talent as well. Okay, yeah, this
here
is
we
actually
go.
way even cooler.
Oh, here we go.
I forgot about the Bulldoze one. I remember they talked about it at TI last year.
I mean, how do you stop him when he's bulldozed?
It's 70% status
yeah.
reduction on a Morphling. Like, there's just no way you stop him. Oh, I forgot about that one. Fun. As into Roche they go, Na'Vi cannot do anything about it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Have to
top
just
is
attempt to
on
play the
fire.
farm game. As we've seen, you know, in general, that's all he's really been trying to do. He knows this is literally the best thing that he can do is really just get farmed on this Nature's Prophet to try to scale. They have the Ags at least on the puck, so I feel like Iceberg, he's at his absolute peak now of strength. And I don't know if they're going to be able to fight back. They do at least have a DD and V-Tune's bottle for the next fight, but it's definitely going to be a hard one.
Let's see what they had to now. There's Na'Vi keeping themselves close to one another around mid. Charging on Iceberg. Coming in from across the map.
Look how far back they have to play. Only V-Tune can show his face at the moment.
Yeah, for defending these tier 2s is going to be pretty impossible for Na'Vi.
Nice stack by Roger. You know, that's a good usage of your time. He stacks the enemy Ancients for V-Tune to farm at the 27-minute mark, so some neutral items too available. And nothing else you could do, right? As here's the charge coming in from the Morphling.
Always want to fly. Oh, the Manta dodge as well. No chance for a magic missile connection as Topson.
Oh, that's dirty. General is probably even... Now that's 2 Spirit Breakers you're playing versus Nature's Prophet. The bane of your existence already. Now there's double. Roger trying to cut some waves here. And he's going to get a hook shot. Very well, Roger.
It's getting messy. It's getting rough here for Na'Vi. This is OG. I mean, they're certainly getting their revenge for what happened in Game 1. As, you know, Game 1 absolutely just a Na'Vi show through and through. Here in Game 2, it's sort of back to business here for OG.
It's so weird how like it's only 7k gold lead, but it feels like it's like a 30. It feels like a 25,000 gold lead or more. Yeah.
Just because of it just feels like within the last 15 minutes, Na'Vi haven't really been able to make a move that's worked out at a net game for them. Yeah,
they're just countered. They just can't kill the core heroes at all. Like the Lifestealer or the Monkey King and the Morphling will never die. They can kill these support heroes, maybe.
Oh, they're gonna try, but now General is a little bit close. They get the swap off to the side. Now BKB's out from mid when he steps over towards General. Topson zips in with the waveform, turns into Always Want to Fly, choose the magic missile against him. As Always Want to Fly will be chased down by the 2 of them. Double kill for mid one. As they do on the side,
Maybe
try to
Seb.
see if they can take down Seb. Have they got the damage to do so? They will.
Okay.
They'll take him out. The Wukong's command is down, but Vichu's able to step to the side, get away from this all. He's looking to try and run away from the two of them. They're in, silence out, but
Nice
there's the terrorize. Very nicely done by Roger, coming in from the side. They do have the Glimmer Cape, keeping everyone safe. The dust is out, but Vichu caught out by the Boundless, burst down. They've got the silence on No Tail. They will manage to get another, but now General's got to run. Mid one and Thompson, they're hunting. Is there anything Iceberg can do to help? As General, he gets the Sprout off. Trying to use the treants to block them away, but Thompson turns into the Monkey King. Some double Monkey King action coming in as they both pounce in onto General. Just yet again, it's just one of those games where Thompson and Mid One, they've got the farm, and they're just not going to die now.
They're looking for Mid. Trying to be sneaky here. He's juking the Brambles.
Got the coil back up. They also have the Bedlam damage. Hookshot holds Roger to the side, though. Can he get in onto Mid One? It doesn't matter. Mid One's BKB's back up and ready to pop. As Mid One holds his ground, godlike on the Monkey King.
And that's V2, and he turned up with a DD. He's able to get the quick kill onto Seb, but afterwards, no further control. And they just, like we said, the two heroes that have just so many different things to play around and just great core matchups, they dance on him. Thompson turns into Venge, stuns him, just keeps swapping around between heroes and has extra forms of control even more for this Lifestealer.
Mid One, he's pretty much got the satanic done. So even if they do get caught by these Dream Coil combos, which potentially would have been the strongest part of Na'Vi's lineup, he's almost certainly not going to die during them, even with Vichen on top of it. In mid lane, Thompson utilizing the rage to hold his ground against Vichen. Vichen giving a good bit of a punch back, but just not the lockdown to stop Thompson from being able to get away every single time.
I mean, we see, like, V2, he's still very farmed. Like, even his items, like, he's got the Death Soul, the Scott, he's got an Orb of Destruction, too, so even more fun, some slow, and some extra minus armor, but it's just you're feeling the rest of the lineup just not being well-rounded around him versus what they're up against.
He's just got to carry so hard against the lineup that's got two carries. They're in an incredible spot right now. 17k, 16k.
There's an easy one if they can get him here.
Oh, they'll jump him. He's going to have the back of it. Saxa coming in with a hook shot. Always want to fly, swapping Vichen off to the side. Allows him to walk back in with a rage, take down Seb. Now,
but here goes the initiation. No Tail's in.
Charging over, there's going to be a buyback from Seb. No Tail controlling Vichen here with the ultimate. Vichen still trying to run over to the side. Mid one to Sax, so they'll run down the easy kill. Look to always want to fly, they'll get him. Doesn't mean that Vichen's granted the space to retreat. He will live. But yet another death, and he's starting to hit those ridiculous numbers here on the support death. 16 deaths on Always Want to Fly this game, and the game's not over yet.
I think he's been dead more than alive this game. OG, no mercy for Always Want to Fly. Toward the high ground now. Is that I guess that's the Spirit Breaker voice line that Thompson just used.
Oh, I guess it is, isn't it? That's smart. Yeah. That's the big play there with the more function as they're into the base. Vichen trying to turn, but the charge buyer will catch him. Rage will now come to an end. They've got the Dream Coil out. Do they have the combo? Wukong's command to swap onto Mid One, but he's still in the ult. So the command keeps on going. Kills off Always Want to Fly yet another time. Thompson diving in, finds Iceberg close to the fountain. They'll turn onto Thompson. He mantles, but the fear's there. They've caught Thompson and they're taking him out. Thompson down for 90. Now look towards Mid One. Mid One trying for the TP out, but the magic
missile. It's a long one.
They're going to be able to kill him. The TP not able to finish in time. In general, he's already out on the map searching for more. Looking towards Seb, brings Vichen in. Seb tries for the TP out, but Vichen's got the damage. Vichen, he just killed each and every core of OG. Seb's dead, Mid One's dead, Thompson's dead, and guess what, Fogged? None of them have got buyback. They're dead for a full over a minute. Na'Vi's just being given an opportunity to turn this around. OG were diving the base. They hadn't taken any tier 3s. They hadn't even taken the tier 2s on the side lanes.
They got punished by what? Quad buyback? 3x buyback at least from Na'Vi? And yeah, V2, and he's able to hold his ground. I actually could not believe, I was just like watching them just sticking on the targets just easily for once. Now General.
They should be able to get the profit here, but maybe Vichen and Always Want to Fly could clean some of them up. No Tail trying for the TP out, but the swap's there into the Open's wounds. The turn with it onto Vichen, but the magic missile's there, controlling No Tail. No Tail trying to charge away, he's running, and in fact, he's just going to go and make it out of there. Charge over towards Mid, will keep him alive. Vichen, he's trying to chase this, but with a glimmer, and no detection on Vichen himself. No Tail will be able to slip away.
They went for both and got neither. They coiled the clockwork, and then the other initiation happens on the Spirit Breaker. Okay. Both supports get a kill and get out on a core when 3 of their cores are dead. Na'Vi can't make that mistake when you finally get a chance to come back,
Dire's middle
as they
tower
don't even get the tier 2 out of it.
No, they did not get as much as I feel they may have hoped for with that timer where all 3 cores of OG were dead. And now the game, of course, falls into, you know, not that it wasn't already, but back into a very scary position for Na'Vi, because as you mentioned, with all those buybacks being used last fight, they're not going to be here for the next time that OG comes diving them in the base.
No, definitely not. And it was OG definitely feeling themselves a little bit as, you know, Topson was shifting into other heroes, using voice lines from their master tier. And they're just having some fun with it, it did feel. As Vtoon, he's still got the Bastard finished up now too, so he's got a pretty good item timing of, now he can actually fight toe-to-toe with these guys, a little bit more control versus that Morphling and Monkey King. Still feels like it's just him really versus the world, but he's at a pretty decent peak.
Just a very scary 5 minutes for Na'Vi. They lose one of their heroes here. OG's probably going to get the space to just close this game 2 out.
is under attack.
They have potential for a lot of fun plays, though, on Na'Vi, right? We still have the chances now for, like, the coil, the swaps, and it's Ag's coil. So these stuns, they last an insane amount of time. They still have the potential for the fear coils as well.
I mean,
so there's still some slight potential.
Because there's also a possibility as well, right? If Na'Vi is able to conduct it in the manner that they have the Puck, the Venge, and the Willow back, holding the high ground with their coils, the terrorizers, and whilst the Prophets bringing the lifesteal across the map, the Deso and the AC, there's a lot of wrap potential from Na'Vi if they find it in these side lanes.
Oh, that's definitely fair too. Seb have his Ags finished up yet? I think he does finally. It's taken him quite some time. Yeah, he does have it finished. So now Seb, he's been a little bit more quiet this game. He's then pretty much only beating up Always Want to Fly, it feels like, for the most part. But now he's actually gonna be able to stick on some targets easier with this too. But yeah, still small chances for Na'Vi. It just feels very hard to actually execute it. While OG, I feel like they can just click their buttons and run in. Yeah, a lot easier.
It does still feel like the game's in a state where 5-man down the mid from OG could just close it.
Yeah, still very fragile.
Yeah, granted that they do hit the buildings this time rather than go for the base divers. We'll see it here. Just not quite prepared to deal with the buybacks from Na'Vi. As Na'Vi were able to get some big kills, some very big kills. In fact, all of them, all the 3 cores. But of course, that big old timer on the buybacks is quite the expenditure. But definitely a worthy one for Na'Vi, keeping them in the game. But now they've got to try and hold them back for 4.5 more minutes until those buybacks are in a safe spot again.
I want to see them spend their gold, though. You know, you don't have buyback. You might as well spend it. You have 3,000 on Iceberg, 3,000 on Always Want to Fly. Oh, wait, one of them is disconnected. I was going to say 3,000 on Always Want to Fly. That's more than his net worth. What the hell? So we don't see how much... It's the Puck. It's the Puck's gold.
Ah, yes, I see a trick there of the UI.
It confused the hell out of me, too.
Yeah, because you click on the Puck and then you click on him and it's like, wait.
I was like, where did Always Want to Fly get gold?
For a man that's died 17 times.
I was going to say, he has E-Blade. This is huge. I
mean, I guess the question is that if you're Vtoon, well, Vtoon's got the Monkey King bar queued up. That's what he wants to be getting. Okay, so Iceberg, he's going to queue up the Lincolns.
Okay.
So obviously, it mean that he's less likely to be popped by these combos from Topson.
Some ways to protect the Lifestealer versus the annoying Nether Strike that's been controlling him most fights. Yeah, any type of small type of any type of things. Just spend your gold because they have no buybacks on those heroes. Of course, we do know that Vtoon, I think him saving gold for buyback definitely appropriate this game.
Yeah, you're right, because he is the one that did not have to use it last fight. So
yeah,
Na'Vi at least with 1 extra life to back them up on the high ground defense.
Yeah, and let's see how everything ends up turning out here. As top, there's a double catapult wave is pushing and hitting that OG tower pretty hard right now. Also those Treants from General. And we see him, he's also microing a Treant, so he's actually going to cut the wave with 1 Treant so they can actually force somebody back. And now they're going to go. So they forced the hero back, and this is the perfect move for Na'Vi. They can actually find a big target here. They have that 1 ward here. Not giving them any information just yet. They see a rocket. And now they see Seb.
Seb? Gonna be able to buy time here as he jewels up. No, Na'Vi in a bit of an awkward spot. Mid1's able to drop down the Wukong's. Vincere, he's trapped in the cogs. Can he get his way out? Will manage to run away. Always want to fly is going to be the distractions. They leave him behind. Vincire's actually going to turn over towards No Tail. Can he take down the Spirit Breaker? He can. Vincere is able to pick up a kill, but there's 3 dead on Na'Vi. None of these heroes would buy back. Vincere's trying to run. Can he escape these 4 heroes? It doesn't look like he can. He's surrounded. Vincere taken out. And they should be able to just run this down mid and at least take a couple of sets of barracks away from Na'Vi, as they're only going to be able to hold with Vincere and with General here for pretty much a minute.
So many of these fights just feel like they kick off the same. They blink, they coil the target gets used, he lands, all of OG is there, and they turn the fight. Even that time, they finally did do the swap on the Yule's target. They actually brought him out of the Yule's, but it wasn't in range to break the coil, and by then OG was all in the area.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
We go OG. I'll take the mid racks. See if they feel that they've got time to eye up the racks on the bottom lane. As the tier 2 is down, they're sweeping over. Vincere still holding on to his buyback. Maybe just feeling that without the full lineup alive, it's unlikely that he's able to do anything himself. As OG.
I think he's pretty right. Yeah, he definitely needs the coil. He needs everything for them to try to do anything.
No fountain diving this time around for OG. They'll play the objectives, continue to push themselves further and further towards the victory here in this game too. It's 2 sets of racks taken away from Na'Vi.
Rosh up, OG. They can pretty much do anything, it feels like, now in this game. As Na'Vi, even when they catch heroes isolated, they can't kill them in time.
We do see Vincere is going for the dream. He's going for the dream. He's going for that rapier.
I mean, it does feel like, I mean, he needs that and more. As even the 6 seconds of rage don't feel like it's enough time for her to kill targets ever.
See. Around the pit. No contest here from Na'Vi.
Even a defensive Wukong, just in case for mid one.
We'll just see what's some good items found here by Na'Vi. I mean, who's going to be taking the Minotaur? Do you think you still hold the Orb of Destruction over anything else on Vincere, or are some of these later tier items going to be more favorable for the Lifestealer?
Oh god, I don't even know what he needs at this point. It feels like he needs too much. I don't even know what helps him more. He just needs any type of damage. I think this is the best one at the moment.
Damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. And Thompson, he's picked up some 2 lovely items. A full Daedalus and a Spell Prism. For the
oh my god.
So
with
now
the CDR talent.
Yeah, that Bulldoze, it's going to have an incredibly high uptime.
It might be 100% uptime. Okay, 3-second downtime.
I mean, that's pretty much as good as it ever gets, yeah. Roger. Thompson's in with the charge. They take him down. Thompson is off to the side with the waveform and also was able to dodge the Dream Coil with that waveform. Goes towards General. General is trying to run with a Minotaur Horn. Turns with the disarm, but he's already been beaten out. Seb punches down. Always want to fly. Vincere is on the retreat, but they're going to come hunting for him. The charge. See if Thompson can find him. Vincire's still running. The rage up in a second. Hook shot off the mark.
He's bashing him.
The charges, the bashes. Vincere has nothing to stay alive here. As OG 26k up now, 45 to 23. And as, again, as we saw, just Na'Vi brought the battle in game 1, and OG, they were able to rise to the challenge here in game 2, as it's looking increasingly more and more impossible for Na'Vi to turn this one around.
Yeah. Thompson's just having fun now. As Monkey King plus Morphling, he just jumped across the whole map in a matter of seconds.
Nice, he's living the dream. He can essentially just play 2 of his favorite heroes.
It's actually so crazy because you get the cast range from the, your Aghanims and everything, and just being able to morph. So the Scepter bonus cast range, it actually feels like he has the Monkey King talent, the Primal Tree Dance cast range. He's just jumping from the same distance.
Here comes some buybacks. Roger.
Mid
On the side, they do get the coil. Swap as well. They managed to find mid one. Can they burst it before he's able to put the cheese on the Satanics? They are able to do so. They kill him off. Thompson's in on the General, Roger. But the Terrorize doesn't catch Thompson, though. Thompson's alive. Vincere turns towards Saxa. Saxa's pretty tanky, though. Vincere trying his best to kill him off, but he can't do so. The Stomp comes in from Seb, and the follow-up Meteor Hammer's there as well. Vincere taken out by the charge by as Roger, who does manage to bring down the Morphos, but they're calling it. V2's dead for 2 minutes. They know they cannot hold this any longer as OG. They really do punch back hard in this game too after being beaten down in game 1. And they'll be able to take down Na'Vi here. No